Hello, my name is Katie, welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year because it is the 1st of January when I am filming this and I'm very excited because I'm going to be doing January's full place of first impressions. I got all of my makeup here in this box and I'm so excited. I got paid early last month, so I basically ordered this quite a while ago, so it's just been sitting around. I haven't been able to use it because I wanted it for this video. It's just been so tempting, but now is the day when I can finally use it. The brand that I predominantly have is Makeup Revolution, but I've also got a few other bits as well. So I'm going to start with eyeshadow because I have got a eyeshadow palette to try out. This is the Makeup Revolution Soph X Ultra Eyeshadow 24 Ultra Professional eyeshadow palette thing. Basically, it's Soph Does Nails eyeshadow palette, which I've been wanting to try for a while, and this was the month in which I finally decided to buy it. I didn't get her highlighter palette, but I do want to try that at some point. The packaging is gorgeous. The colours are just like amazing. You've got such a nice variety there, and it really did stand out to me, something I would like. So let's create some kind of look with this. I'm looking at these purple and this gold shade and I'm drawn to them. Should I do some kind of purple and gold look? I don't know. So I'm going to start with this shade here. Oh, where are we? Yeah, I'm going to start with this shade here. I don't know the names of them because I don't know where I put the little thing with the names on, but I'm just going to show you them instead, and I guess if you're that interested you can work it out yourself. I'm going to start with this kind of neutrally kind of cinnamony shade here, and I'm going to put this one through my crease. It's like a transition shade. I have already done a concealer and a powder base on my eyes, but I didn't use anything new for that. So I'm just ready for some eyeshadow now. I've heard a lot of good things about this palette, so ooh, pigmented. That was pigmented. That's very pigmented. Right, I'm gonna go in with this colour here. It's kind of slightly more deeper brown shade. This one here. I'm gonna go through my crease with that one as well. Probably work it slightly underneath what I've done. Right, I think I'm going to get this even deeper brown shade, this one right here, and I'm going to just put a bit of that into the like outer third of my eye. Just getting the shadow of my brush and just blending this ever so slightly. I'm so impressed with these like transition smoky kind of shades. Right, I think I'm going to do a sort of like halo eye type thing, and I really want to use this purple colour. I think it's called Mixed Berries, and it just looks absolutely stunning, and I think I remember swatching this and I believe this was one of the more pigmented ones. So I think what I'll do is I'll just place it on like either side of my base and just leave like a bit in the middle, which I then will put one of the gold colours on. So I'm just going to use my finger for this. It just looks like a mess, but that shade was really nice. I'm going to get this shade next to it. It's like a very kind of deepy gold colour, but it looks beautiful. And I'm going to place this one in the centre of my lid. And oh, I just nailed some of the shadows, for God's sake. I mean, again, like, that looks amazing. It has like this almost kind of foiled effect, which I think is really nice. I'm gonna get the shade that I started with, which I think is called Cup of Tea, but I could be wrong. And I'm just gonna use that to kind of like blend this a little bit because it's looking a bit messy. It's probably still gonna end up messy anyway, but whatever. I'm then gonna get a bit like matte white shade right at the top, and I'm just gonna use this one under my brow bone to kind of like blend the kind of shadow that's up there. Okay, I think I'll leave the shadow at that. I know it looks like a little bit of a mess. I'm not the best at eyeshadow. this is just like a practice run, okay? But I mean, all of the shades I used were like amazing. I'm actually really impressed with this palette. I think that for the price as well, it's so good. I think that this is better than a lot of like high-end palettes that I have. I mean, I don't have loads of high-end palettes, but the ones that I do have, I mean, I don't think I would say this one's any worse than them. I mean, I think this is just really good quality and a really good price. And oh yeah, I forgot about a massive mirror as well. That's handy. Yeah, I think this is epic, and I'll use that a bit. Okay, so for pencil eyeliner, I got the, what is this? I got the Maybelline gel eyeliner. This is the Gigi Hadid one. It's literally just like a black gel liner. Looks pretty cool, and I thought I would just give this a go in my waterlines, as I normally do. Yep, that's what we do. Just gonna fill in our waterlines. That is an intense liner. I'm really impressed by that. It's so pigmented and like dramatic. That is a good liner. It feels so creamy as well. The only issue with these is sometimes they sharpen a bit funny and they can go blunt and then they kind of break and you can't sharpen them again. But obviously I've yet to know if that's an issue or not because I don't need to sharpen it yet. But I mean, from first impressions, I think that is a really good black liner. Next I'm going to use some mascara, and the mascara that I got is the Collection Lash Surge Full Effect Mascara, and this is in the shade Ultra Black. And I saw a few good reviews for this, and also it's very affordable. I believe it's $4.99. That's your one there. So I'm quite excited to try this and see if it's really good. Because if it's good for that price, then, well, I might have to buy this a few more times. Okay, so I'm basically just gonna go straight in for this and do our top lashes. Okay, I think this is a pretty good mascara. I mean, look, there is definitely some good volume and length there. And I think this will get a bit better the more I use it. But yeah, on first impressions, I think that's a really good mascara. It's not like my favourite ever. My mind is not like completely blown or anything. But I think for the price as well, this is pretty good. I think I'll use this quite a lot. Alright, so that's our eyes done for now, so I'm going to move on to some base products. I didn't get a primer or any colour correctors or anything like that, so I am just going to go on to foundation. I decided to get the Maybelline Super Stay 24-hour full coverage foundation, and mine is in the shade 03 True Ivory. I think this is the lighter shade, but I'm not 100% sure, but that's what the colour looks like. I mean, it's not an awful colour. It's quite yellowy toned by the look of it, which is good for me because I am a more yellow toned person. Whether or not I need a white mixer for that, I'm not sure, but I think for the sake of this video, we'll just use it on its own, and if it is a little bit of an off colour, then it's okay because I'm not going out anywhere today. So I'm just going to use a typical beauty blendy type thing. This is from My Kit Co. It's just a beauty sponge, and I'm going to apply this on my face. That's what the shade looks like. So it doesn't look 100% perfect, but I mean, it's got a kind of nice yellowy undertone, which I like. And it's pretty pale, but could be a little bit paler, but we'll see what it's like on the face. Also, whether or not it oxidizes is another question. I know that Soph Does Nails is a big fan of this foundation. She said it was like her favourite of all time. And that was one of the reasons, not gonna lie, that I wanted to try it. Oh my god, this has got some good coverage. I definitely think the shade is a little bit off for me though, so I would probably use a white mixer with this in the future, which is fine. I mean, that's why I have them. Okay, so I've got about one layer of this on, and let me just get a look. I would say this has pretty good coverage. I mean, I'm not sure if it's quite full, but it's definitely very near full. The colour actually doesn't look too bad, but I just have a feeling that this would oxidize a bit, so that's why I would probably put a white mixer in. But the colour doesn't look too bad. I feel like the undertones are good. It has like a nice finish to it. It just looks like a really nice foundation. I would say that it does look a little bit heavy in some areas, but I mean, I don't mind that too much, to be honest. I feel like the coverage is strong and it's got a nice finish, so I quite like this. So the concealer that I got to try is quite an exciting one, and this is the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer Cream, and I got mine in the shade Light Neutral 1, which I think is the lightest shade, and to be honest I was really confused when I was looking at the shades. And I probably could have done with getting one actually darker than this, which is like rare for me, but it is incredibly pale. It's like, damn, that is a pale colour. I think this probably is the palest one they do, other than the white one, because they do a white one as well. That's what it looks like there. As you can see, that is ridiculously pale. The undertone, I can't tell if it's pink or yellow. I think it's sort of more neutral, which I guess is okay. It does look a little bit pink though. But yeah, I mean, that is a pale colour. I've heard that this is really high coverage as well, so I'm excited to try it. So I'm just going to use this in all the areas that I would like to conceal. Put some of it under my eyes. I'm losing my voice, man. I'm going to put some under my eyes, on my nose, around my mouth area. And I might put a bit on my forehead as well. Basically, I'm probably just going to put it everywhere. So let's try this out. Oh my god, it's so pale. I mean, for highlighting, I guess this is a perfect colour, but I don't know, man. This is just very pale. So that hasn't given me too much of like a white cast. It kind of blends into the foundation a bit, like the colour, but it also does have like a brightening effect. So this is really nice. I mean, to be honest, I think for like concealing like blemishes and stuff, a darker slight, like the shade probably just below it would be better for me. This works more so as like a kind of highlighty product, which is so weird. I never normally have this problem, but I really like the way it sits on the skin and the coverage. It seems really strong and I like it. I'm a fan. It's obviously creasy, but like I just feel like if you're gonna have a full coverage concealer, the chances are it's gonna be creasy, and like it just doesn't bother me because my under eyes are so like creasy. I think it's just because I've got such like a deep socketed eye, like on the bottom bit, that it just naturally creases. Yeah, the base is pretty good. I feel like it looks maybe a little bit heavy, but that's not something I personally mind too much. As long as it's not like really textured heavy, that's when I have a bit of an issue. It doesn't look really textured or anything. So I've actually got two powders to try out. I've got a loose powder and then a pressed powder. So I got the Makeup Revolution Lace Luxury Baking Powder, which looks like this. It seems a little bit pink toned, which I don't know if is the best choice for me, but I know that this is kind of made for like pale people, so we'll give it a go. And I also got the Maybelline New Matte Maker Mattifying Powder, and mine is in the shade Classic Ivory. And I was kind of skeptical to get this because I didn't know what the colour would be like, but actually this colour is amazing because it's basically just a really pale colour but with a slight yellowy tone, which I always bang on about. I do have more yellowy toned skin, so this is like a perfect colour for me. The packaging is so bad, like I can literally feel it falling out of the pan. Yeah, my one issue with this so far is the packaging, but hopefully it's a good powder and it makes up for it. So what I'll probably do is use the Lace Baking Powder under my eyes and then use the Maybelline one to set the rest of my face. Okay, so I've just put some of the baking powder into the lid of the Maybelline one, and I think I will just bake in the kind of traditional way and use my sponge. This doesn't always work very well for me, but we're going to try it. I'm just going to make sure I've got to make creases first under my eyes. Okay, we're going to bake. Okay, I put way more on than I normally would, but I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know, because whenever I put like a normal amount on, it doesn't leave the weird cast that I see everyone else have. But now that I put loads on, it does kind of have the cast. But I accidentally put way too much in my little thing because I've got so much excess. I wonder if I can get it back in the pot without making a huge mess. Probably not. So I guess I'll leave that to bake, as they say, and then I'll set the rest of my face with the powder, and I'll just get a big brush for this. Okay, so going in with the Maybelline powder now, I'm just using this big brush, and I'm gonna, oh, a lot of kickback here. I'm gonna just set the rest of my face with this. Alright, I'm gonna wipe away the bake, because I don't want to leave that too long, because I feel like I'll just look like a cake. Okay, I probably wouldn't put quite as much on next time, Yeah, it definitely looks a bit heavy, but in terms of like setting and like the finish, it's pretty good. It's definitely set it. It's got a nice smooth finish. It does just look a little bit heavy because I put way too much on. I am referring to the lace powder more so than the Maybelline one here. The Maybelline one looks really nice as well. It's just done the job. Mattified. It's got a nice colour. Hasn't like distorted anything. So yeah, both powders I like. I just probably wouldn't use quite as much of that baking powder next time because I don't know if you can see, but like under my eyes it looks really kind of heavy just in the bits where the creases are, which I mean is fine. I'm not expecting anything to get rid of my creases because they're creases, but I think it's just the way that it's settled into it a bit. But it looks really smooth and nice, which is good. And I feel super matte now. I've definitely got a very flawless high coverage base going on right now. Okay, so we need some bronzer now to give some definition and warmth back to this face. And I got the Makeup Revolution Renaissance Glow bronzer and highlighter. So obviously this has got a bronzer and a highlighter, but I probably won't use the highlighter in this just because I bought a lot of freaking highlighters for this video, so I want to try some of them. But it has this little leather thing, and I don't, was it leather or is it velvet? Velvet is what I meant. I don't like the feeling of velvet, so I'm sure some people will appreciate that, but for me I just cringe at leather. Leather velvet is what I'm trying to say. So that's what it looks like, and this bronzer colour looks like an amazing one for pale skin. The highlighter is a bit more of a kind of bronzy tone to it, so I feel like maybe for more medium skin tones this would be nicer. I mean, I will try it on myself at some point, probably not on this video because I've got more highlighters to try, but I don't know, it might work perfectly on pale skin for all I know. But the bronzer for pale skin, it looks really nice because it's just really light colour and not too like orangey. So I think I'll go in with the bronzer brush that I got for Christmas. This is the B bronzing brush from Superdrug. I really like this for a bronzer just because it applies it quite naturally. I know it's like a huge brush and that might be off-putting to some people, but I actually really like the way this applies bronzer. I feel like this would be a pretty good contour shade as well, but for this video I'm using it as a bronzer. I really like my bronzers to look more natural. I don't like them to be too intense. If they are, I just blend them a lot. That's pretty nice. This gives you a nice bit of warmth to your face. I'm gonna give it a tiny blend, but not too much. So I've got way too much highlight to try here. So I got two of the Makeup Revolution Skin Kiss highlighters. The first one I got is the Star Kiss one, which is like this. It's a nice light pastel-y blue colour. That's what it looks like. I mean, it is quite stunning. Sorry about the lights reflecting in it, but that's a pretty colour. The one I got is Dream Kiss, and this one has like a load of different shades in it, quite like pastel-y, holographic-y kind of colours. So I'm definitely going with a theme of these kind of like holographic-y kind of colours, because I also got the Makeup Revolution Ultra Cool Glow palette, which has 8 different highlighters in, all with that kind of, you know, pastel-y holographic theme. I guess that's just what I was feeling this month, but there is too many highlighters here for me to use in one go, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like I might skip on this one for now and use the blue one and the palette. So I'm just going to use this highlighter brush I always use, which is like from Amazon. It's probably like £2 or £3. Just going to get the excess highlight off it. I need a new one of these, man, the little brush things. Right, so I'm going to start by using Star Kiss, the bluey one, on this side on my cheekbone. Yeah, you definitely had to build this one a bit, but once you do, wow, that is blinding. It's definitely very blue, so if you're not into these kind of like fluorescent, like bluey, greeny, those kind of shades, you won't like it. But if you don't mind that, like I personally am quite into it, this is very nice. I like it. I kind of want to try this shade from the Cool Glow palette. This one is kind of like a pastel-y green shade. I'm just very intrigued by this, so I think I'm going to try this one on the other side. Again, I'm just going to try and get off the excess highlighter from my brush. Okay. I feel like this one didn't pick up as much on the brush. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be picking up as much. Yeah, this one doesn't seem to be quite as intense. It's a lot more natural. It's just like a bit of a nice sheen. I think I want to go on top with another colour because I'm not too blown away by this one. I kind of want to try this silver shade here. It's literally like an icy silver colour. I'm going to try that one, see if it's any more pigmented. This one picked up way more on the brush. Oh yeah, that's got it. Whoa, that one is good. Oh, that's nice. Oh, my phone. Okay, yeah, I'm feeling this silver one. I don't know if you can see it, but that is nice. I like this silver one. The light green one I wasn't really feeling. This one, yes. I mean, this is gonna look a bit weird because I've got like a blue tone one on one side and a silver one on the other, and I'm now gonna put like 50 other ones on my other places on my face. Okay, I want to try this pink one here. This one right here. I'm gonna use this one on my nose and my cupid's bow and my chin. Okay, that one's nice, but again, I don't think it's quite as intense as the other two. I think I'm going to go with the lilac-y one here. This one. I'm going to use that on the kind of bits above my eyebrows, my temples. Okay, again, very nice, but still not beating the silver for me. I'm just blending it a little bit. Let's swatch some of the other shades and see what they're like. I feel like the white shade looks like it would work quite well. That seems quite pigmented. The other pink shade seems like it would work pretty well. The more reddy toned one also is really pigmented, as well as the kind of goldy one. So the ones that, I don't know if you can see this at all, the ones that I didn't use actually do seem to be quite pigmented. The green one though, and the kind of the other pink one I used don't seem quite as intense. Winners are the Star Kiss and then the silver colour from this palette, this one here. I think that is some intense highlight. I'm going to move on to my brows, and I've only got one product to try. This is the Maybelline Brow Precise Fibre Filler, and I got mine in the shade Deep Brown. This is basically just an eyebrow gel, and it's got a really strange wand. So I quite like to use gels just on their own on a more regular basis because I just can't be asked to be filling them in with pencils and powders too often. I mean, I do use them sometimes, but just like when I go into work and stuff, I can't really be asked. So something like a brow gel like this is what I reach for on a more regular basis. But obviously we'll have to see if this is any good. The colour looks pretty good. It's just a quite dark brown colour, which is what I go for. I'm just gonna tap off a little bit of the excess. I have no idea how to use this because it's such a weird shape, but I guess I'm just gonna brush some of the product from my brows and hope I don't make a huge mess of it, which I think I'm probably already doing. Is there a specific way you're supposed to use this? I got the hang of it a bit more with this brow, but this one just looks like a hot damn mess. This is the strangest applicator ever. I feel like it works better if you kind of use it on its like this way, and then do it that way to maybe fill in the front bit, but it's a bit hard to use, to be honest. But on a first impression, it's definitely difficult to use. I think I need to play around with it a bit more to find the optimal way to use it, but this one turned out okay. This one just looks a mess. This often happens when I'm trying out new brow products, have you noticed? Look, we're just going to have to deal with the messy brows in this video. I'll try and fix it at the end. I do feel a little bit like, you know when a brow product's really heavy and you can just feel it, like kind of clinging onto all the hairs? It kind of feels a bit like that, which I'm not a huge fan of that feeling. Well, there must be a better way to use this product because it got good reviews, and I swear I've seen some YouTubers like say it's one of their faves, so I feel like I'm just missing something here. I'm going to put some shadow under my eyes. So I'm going to go back in with the shade that I think is called Cup of Tea, but I'm not 100% sure. The one that I used earlier. And I'm just going to smother some of this under my eyes. I'm going to get the slightly deeper brown that I also used earlier here. And I'm just going to put some of that under there as well. I think I'm going to actually try out the white shade from the Cool Glow palette and put some of that into the inner corners of my eyes. Yes. Yeah, that's good. Gonna go back in with the Collection Lash Surge. That's a tongue twister and a half that. And just do my bottom lashes. I've just done a really good job for my bottom lashes though. Okay, so I've got one more product to try, and it's a lip product. And it's the Makeup Revolution Retro Luxe Matte Lip Kit. And mine is in the shade Treason. And it is telling me that it's new and improved, so there you go. I think this is one of the newer kind of shades that they've brought out. So obviously you get the lipstick and the lip liner, and this is just a very kind of cool toned, grungy kind of colour. Kind of reminded me of Max Stone a bit, and I really like shades like that, so I thought I'd give it a go. That's what the little lip liner looks like. I think it's slightly deeper than the lipstick, but whatever. I'm going to go ahead and fill in my lips with this lip liner. Okay, I mean that is an intense colour. I didn't expect it to be quite that dark. I haven't applied it like everywhere. You can see some gaps and stuff, but I mean it's a lip liner. Are you even supposed to do the whole of your lip with a lip liner? Anyway, let's go in with the actual lipstick, shall we? Definitely looks slightly lighter. I mean not a lot. I mean it's still pretty deep. So ignore the, as always, not so great application. I mean, it could be worse. For me, I've done worse than this, let's just say that. But, this is pretty. I like it. I feel like it's slightly patchy, just the way that the kind of lip liner and the lipstick are blend together. It kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I don't know how to explain it, but actually, now, like, I layered it up again and it kind of got rid of it slightly, but actually, it looks fine, just ignore me. I like it. This isn't very interesting colour, but I like it a lot. So that's everything tried. I'm just gonna kind of fix my eyebrows if I can, get rid of any mascara mess, and then I'll give you my final thoughts as always. This is the finished look, and I'm feeling it. We've gone all grungy again, which is a recurring theme with me, but yeah, I think it's all turned out pretty good in the end. The only thing that's really standing out to me is kind of weird is my eyebrows. I tried to like brush through them with a spoolie a bit, which I guess helped slightly, but they still just look a little bit odd to me. I feel like the more I experiment with makeup and the more I buy makeup, the more I kind of realise what I like. And I don't know, just feel like the more knowledgeable I get, the more likely I am to pick out products that I know I'll actually like. Of course I'm going to get duds every now and then, but I feel like the more you kind of do these kind of videos, the more you just know what you're going to like, and you just happen to pick out products that you like, which I think in my opinion is a good thing. I don't really want to be buying products that I don't like very much. So the eyeshadow palette, this is amazing. I really like it. As you can see, these shades are pigmented, they're blendable, the colour selection is just amazing. Like there's just so many options in here, and I really am a big fan of Sophia's nails. She's one of my inspirations for YouTube, and I'm so happy for her for having these palettes, and of course she would make something that's really good quality because we all know that she's into her eyeshadows and stuff. But yeah, I think this is amazing, and for a tenner, so that's like 24 shades for £10, so that's like less than 50p per eyeshadow, so this is pretty good value for money. Little Gigi Hadid eyeliner I was really impressed by. It's so intense and creamy. I just really hope that this sharpens okay, because often I'll find that liners kind of like this, you know, like pencil ones, I'll use them the first time and be really impressed, and then I'll sharpen them and they'll just fuck up somehow. So hopefully it doesn't do that. But I mean, from first impressions, that's a really good eyeliner. I really like that. One of the best I've tried. This Collection mascara I'm feeling as well. I think this is really good. It's not like the best first impression I've ever had of a mascara, but I feel like I can just tell that this is the kind of mascara that the more I use it, the more I'll like it. So for example, with like the one that I used last month, the Bourjois one, I used two, but I would say particularly with this volume clubbing one, I thought it was good the first time I used it, but like the more I've used it now, this has just gotten so much better. Like it's amazing, it gives so much volume. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because they're drying up slightly, or maybe it's just you know how to like kind of apply them a bit better. But I just feel like when you leave mascaras longer, you often just like them more. So I feel like this is probably going to happen with this, but from first impressions, it's really good. I feel particularly on my lower lashes, it did a really good job. And for like $4.99, this is good. Foundation I think is really good. It has a really nice finish. The coverage is amazing. The colour doesn't look too bad now, but I got feeling this would oxidize, so I'd probably put a little bit of white mixer in. I'd probably use like my LA Girl one because this is my favourite one at the moment. But I don't really have an issue with that. I don't mind if foundations are like slightly off, because I just feel like putting a white mixer in isn't really that much of an inconvenience. It's just if like a foundation's like really off, that's when it annoys me, because sometimes you put a white mixer in them and it just doesn't want to go any lighter. Obviously I'd say the same thing about the Kat Von D concealer. Coverage and finish is really nice. Shade is slightly too pale for me. It happens occasionally, rarely, but it does. But for highlighting I think it would work well, and I honestly would consider buying one in like the second lighter shade just so it's a bit more suitable to me, but I don't know, because these are expensive, so maybe in the future, but I definitely will use this still. I liked both of the setting powders. The lace baking one I think worked really well under my eyes. I just think I put way too much on, but I think the overall finish of it looks really nice. I actually feel like I like this one a bit better than the RCMA one that I tried last month. I don't know what it is. I liked it on first impressions, but I've noticed the more I've used it, it just looks a bit textured on me and like not as like smooth and nice, whereas actually I feel like this one actually does a better job. And the Maybelline powder, ignoring the terrible packaging, I think again it just does a really good job at setting your face. It's a really good tone for me. I really like the Renaissance bronzer. Obviously I've not tried the highlighter in it, but the bronzer works really nice for me, just gives me a nice bit of warmth to the face. Okay, so the highlighters, I would say that this one here, the Starkiss, worked beautifully. It is so pigmented. You do need to build it a bit. It doesn't instantly come out, but once you do, it's nice, it's intense. So I'd say that this Ultra Cooler one's a little bit hit and miss. There are some good shades in here, and there's some not so good ones. Shades that stood out to me is obviously the silver one. I think this white one here, I only used it in my inner corners, but I've got a feeling that that would work really well. It's like a normal highlight. The lilac one was pretty good. I would say that the kind of more pinky one, this one here, and the greeny one weren't quite as pigmented. The other three, so these two here and the gold one, when I swatched them they seemed really pigmented, so I've got a feeling that those ones probably would work quite well. But I'd say like the green one and that pink one weren't quite as impressive, but overall I do think there is some good things in here, particularly the silver and the white I think are standing out to me. Okay, so I'd say that the one thing that I wasn't a big fan of is probably this Maybelline Brow Precise. I mean, don't worry, I'm gonna give it another go. I'm not giving up on it, but just from a first impression it just seems kind of weird to use. I don't really like the brush. It feels quite like heavy and like clingy onto your like brow hairs. I don't know, I'm not giving up. I will keep using it, I'll try, but this is definitely the least favourite thing I've tried today. The lipstick and the lip liner seem to work pretty well. It's a very intense shade, I like it. It's got like a nice matte finish. It actually looks quite nice on the lips. It doesn't look, it's like has settled into the lines, but not in like a really horrible unflattering way. Like I feel like it's a nice finish. It looked a little bit patchy at first, but I think if you just go in with like a couple layers, that kind of goes away and it looks nice and opaque. Yeah, I'm feeling this, I like it. So literally every single thing I liked. The only thing I had an issue with was the brow, the Maybelline brow gel, but everything else, super impressed, super happy. So this is another first impressions that's gone very well. I feel like the last few have just gone very well because, as I said, I just feel like I'm learning more about makeup and what I know and what I like, and I just like when I buy products I look more into like reviews and stuff, and I don't know, I'm just a bit more wise with my purchases, I feel. So that's it for this month. I hope you're having a nice holiday season. I hope you had a nice Christmas and a nice New Year, and I'll see you very soon for more videos. Goodbye.